You're thinking about moving to Vancouver and you want to be close to downtown, but you don't want the busyness of it. You want to be able to take your bike everywhere. You love the idea of being able to grab fresh produce and make some really great meals, but you also love the option to have really great cuisine at your doorstep. And you want those iconic Vancouver city ocean mountain views. This might be the perfect neighborhood for you. It has a near perfect walk, bike, and transit score, has some of the best views, and every single outdoor activity that you can think of at your doorstep. Welcome to False Creek. In this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of this really cool community, give you my 5 favorites that I love about it, and take you on a real estate tour to help you understand what real estate looks like here in False Creek. And make sure to stick around to the very end because I'm going to show you some very important landmarks that you're going to want to know if you're planning on making False Creek or Vancouver home. So join myself and my best corgi friend here, Court, as we take you on a tour of the incredible False Creek area. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about real estate in Vancouver and the surrounding areas, make sure to subscribe below. Tap the bell for notifications to be the first to learn what's going on in the current market here in Vancouver. My name's Megan Becker, local realtor with eXp Realty. Myself and my team get calls every day from people looking to make this incredible city their home. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, text, or email, and I'm super excited to help you make this incredible city home. Let's first define the boundaries of False Creek. So as you can see here, Vancouver, the city of Vancouver is this segment right here. And we will go into the actual community of False Creek here. So we are right on the south boundary of False Creek. So this body of water right here, that is all False Creek in there. Western boundary is going to be Burrard Street. So you come off the Burrard Street Bridge, this turns into Burrard Street. This is West 6 here. It goes all the way around. And then this boundary is Ontario Street. And then we obviously have the seawall down here, and it does encompass Granville Island here. So False Creek really encompasses so much of what I fell in love with about Vancouver. And the first favorite here is the waterfront living. So right behind me, you can see you've got these townhomes, you've got apartments, and then right at your front doorstep, you've got False Creek, you've got water views, your steps to, the False Creek Ferries, drop your paddleboard in, rent kayaks, you can rent sea-doos in the summertime, and like rip all the way through English Bay around Stanley Park. And there's just, if you love the outdoor lifestyle, this might be a really awesome neighborhood. I'm curious, if you live in False Creek or if you're a resident of Vancouver, what are some of your favorite things to do here? Maybe there's things that I haven't even tried yet, but I love running around the seawall here. I love being able to just step to Granville Island and then every amenity. And then if you need to get into downtown, you're literally right across the bridge. So we are starting off in Olympic Village. So this is a segment of the community of False Creek, and it was developed in 2010 for the Olympics. And so this is where Athletes Village was, and it's a really cool area. This is one of the things that I really love about the False Creek area. You know, you're right on False Creek here, so you've got the water right behind you. You've got Science World, and the seawall that I'm on right now is actually connected. It goes all the way around. You can go through past Yale Town, past the West End, into Stanley Park. It loops all the way around. And then if you want to go the other way, it'll take you to Granville Island, which we're going to head over there as well. But this is a really cool area. Most of the buildings here in this area were built around that 2010 mark. And then you've got every amenity that you can think of. There's urban fare, there's tons of ice cream shops, Ernest ice cream, gelato everywhere. Tap and Barrel, which I'm standing right in front of here. If you want to go for beers, for a meal or anything like that. There's lots of great restaurants, every type, fancy, little really good hole in the wall, everything in between. So my next favorite thing about False Creek is these False Creek Ferries. It is the coolest way to see the landscape from a different vantage point, and it's just a really handy way to get across. You can go from Olympic Village to Yaletown, over to Granville Island. I'm just under the Cambie Street Bridge right now, and it's such a super cool form of public transportation here in Vancouver. So we're waiting for the ferry we're gonna hop on, and we're gonna head over to Granville Island and explore that area, and excited to take you guys there. Court is also patiently waiting for the ferry to take us there. Okay, my next favorite about False Creek is Granville Island. This is such a cool spot. I remember ever since I was young, I started coming here when I was like 4 or 5 years old. My parents would bring me out here, and there was so much to do. Whatever age you are, I just remember there was this like kids, like it was like a candy store, toy store all together, and I would always get like a random stuffed animal and a bag of candy, and just, yeah, really cool memories here. You've got the huge public market with fresh produce, fresh fish, every type of cuisine. You've got lots of touristy shops. You've got lots of artwork, theaters, breweries, lots of cool different restaurants here. Lee's Donuts, which is right behind me. There's typically always a lineup, but the freshest, some of the best donuts. And there's lots of theaters here too. You can go see different shows. One of the things I was really looking forward to when I moved to Vancouver was doing drop-in improv. And so there's actually the Improv Center, Granville Island here, and it was a really cool opportunity to go in and do some classes, and it's fun. I was told by a business coach, actually, anyone that in sales should do improv, just to improve your ability to communicate, and really it forces you to listen to people. Because when you're doing improv, you're playing these games, and you can't have these preconceived notions in your head about like trying to figure out what am I going to say next, because if you do that, you're not listening to the next person and the scene falls flat. And so it forces you to listen to the person and just get rid of those preconceived notions about like what are people going to think, because everyone looks kind of funny doing improv. And so anyways, that was one of the cool things I did here. I've gone there a handful of times, and then gone to see a couple different Indigenous shows here. There's a really great Mexican restaurant right in the heart of Granville Island called Alimentaria with some of the best ceviche. It's one of my favorite spots there. And then, like I mentioned, Lee's Donuts is in the public market. You've got Dockside, which is in the Granville Island Hotel with some great happy hour specials. And just a side note, happy hour in Vancouver is a huge thing. I think because things here, they're naturally a little bit pricey, so people are all about finding good happy hours. Dockside has a great happy hour with really amazing patio views. You've got Vancouver Fish Company, which also has a really great happy hour, and then Sandbar, which has a really cool open kitchen and amazing views. A little bit of history here on Granville Island. So originally it was actually 2 sandbars where Indigenous peoples seasonally fished and held events, and then later established a permanent village here. The access to the water made it really attractive for commerce, leading to many mills and factories setting up businesses. This was back in like the 1930s. And then in 1973, the Canadian Housing and Mortgage Corporation, CMHC, assumed ownership and actually transformed the land to the start of what you see today, which is the attractive tourist destination that it is. And in the summer, this is a spray park. Kids, there's a cool playground, or adults, if you've gone for a long run in the summertime and you want to cool off in the spray park, definitely you might have done that before. This is definitely something to be aware of here. The seagulls here are massive, especially in the touristy areas. I think they, just get overfed, and they're very, they have no shame. They will steal stuff right out of your hand. We were hiking, and a friend, he bought these like really expensive candies from Whole Foods, and so excited to eat them at the top of the mountain. Opened up Whole Foods, they're expensive. So excited to eat them, and was saving them for like the perfect time, and brought them out of his bag, opened them up, didn't even get to eat one, but the seagull took them right out of his hand. And we just kind of laughed, and we're almost sad at the same time as we watched this bird fly away with a bag of candies that probably cost like $14. Okay, let's talk real estate in False Creek here. So the majority of the real estate is composed of townhomes, mid-level apartment buildings, and then you've got all these high-rise apartments that are in the area of Olympic Village here. And there's actually very few single-family homes. And something to be aware of as well is when we get closer to Granville Island, the majority of the land is actually owned by the city of Vancouver and made available to owners through leasehold. So what this means is that you own the unit. If you're purchasing a condo, you own that unit, but the city of Vancouver actually owns the land that it's on. So it's something to be aware of. There's pros and, like with any type of real estate, there's pros and cons with leasehold type properties. One of the pros is that you can typically find a comparable property for cheaper. But the thing to be aware of is at the end of that leasehold, then it really depends on what's in that actual lease document. You potentially have to give that land back to the city. So that's the only drawback, or one of the drawbacks, sorry. Another of the drawbacks is sometimes it can be tougher to get mortgages on the property, especially if the leasehold is ending within the next, 10 to 30 years. You're less likely going to find a lender that's going to lend on that just because of the unknown at the end of that lease. And actually most of the leasehold properties, the leases here in False Creek, they actually expire between 2036 and 2046. So they are coming up, but I have helped clients and I know people who own here. And again, it's something like with any piece of real estate to do your due diligence on and to make sure that you're understanding what you're actually paying for. So when it comes to benchmark sale price for all of False Creek, what we're looking at is $875 for condos and then $1.15 for townhomes. Okay, so we are just south of Granville Island, and this is the older area of False Creek here, but you've got some of these like picturesque townhomes, low-rise apartment condos that are right on False Creek. So you've got these older style buildings here, and these are the ones, the majority of them here are on land lease, but you can find some pretty, again, weighing out those pros and cons, you can find some pretty sizable places for a little bit lower than what you would find in a freehold property. Okay, we're in front of 288 West 1st. So there was a 1-bed, 1-bath unit that just sold last month for $875. So to kind of give you an idea of what you're getting for that price point, built in 2012, 724 square feet. So you're looking at about $1,209 per square foot, which is pretty typical of this area. And then this unit, 6th floor, north facing, so you've got city and the North Shore Mountain views. Okay, so right behind me here is 1216 Island Park Way with False Creek as your front yard, and a townhouse just sold in here last month for $1.4 million. It was built in 1980s, 2-bed, 2-bath, fully renoed, really great looking unit, just under 1,200 square feet. So that is quite sizable for a 2-bed, 2-bath unit here. It is on a land lease though. So I want you guys to be able to get an idea of the value, really what you're paying for here. So there's always, at certain price points, you're going to be able to find different things. You're going to sacrifice on square footage if you want that freehold type property. But you can find some of these properties that are on land lease and you're getting a little bit larger for the same dollar amount. So that's where you really want to figure out, like, give me a call, because I would love to chat. And that's what I really sit down and I help my clients figure out, is what's most important to you. What are we really looking at? Here's all the factors to consider when you are looking at real estate. So what are the most important things? What are the pros and cons of each? And the other thing that I really liked about this unit is there was quite a bit of outdoor space. So as you can see, a lot of people here have pets, have dogs, and it leads to a really great environment because you have these outdoor spaces that you can take your pets. You can just let them out. You know, if it's raining, you don't actually have to go out, put on all your rain gear and take them for a walk. You can just let them out in the little patio area. But then you've got all of this at your front doorstep, so you can go for nice walks along the seawall. Okay, I'm at 1616 Columbia because everybody is fascinated with Vancouver real estate. I wanted to show you. So there is a penthouse that is currently on the market in this building, and it's listed for $6.388 million. I've actually showed in this building. It's a really cool building. No penthouses, but this penthouse that's currently on the market is just over 3,500 square feet. It's a 3-bed, 4-bath, and it has a 1,000 square foot balcony that faces west. So west is directly behind me here. You're gonna get epic sunset views. You're gonna see the whole downtown skyline, BC Place. You'll get to see the mountains, and this is what just over $6 million can get you here in Vancouver in False Creek. We are passing by Charlton off-leash dog park area here. Another attractive feature for those furry friends. And you've got gorgeous views of downtown from here. I've been told Court is not a big fan of the off-leash dog parks. We're gonna hang out here on the outskirts and continue our walk. There is something about golden hour on the west coast here. I am looking east. The sun is setting on this side of downtown, just over the trees there. But there is just something about the way the light reflects off the glass buildings of downtown. The sky in the east is this like pinkish purple color. I love, love, love this time of day. Okay, very important landmark here in Vancouver. So, quick little story. When I first moved here, I was meeting up with a friend and he texted me the meeting location. He said, meet me at the Birds. That's it. No address, no Google pin, nothing. Meet me at the Birds. And I was like, okay, trying to play it cool and trying to figure out, okay, where are these birds? What does this mean? And so I'm in the middle of Olympic Village here. These two large, gorgeous birds here, right on the corner of Athletes Way. So this is Athletes Way behind me, and then Manitoba Salt Street right in front of me there. So it's a really great destination meeting point. And so yeah, if you move here and you live here and someone tells you to meet at the Birds, this is exactly where to go. Well, that about concludes our tour here of False Creek, Olympic Village, Granville Island. I hope you had as much fun as we did touring around this area, seeing all the cool sights, the gorgeous scenery. If you're thinking about making a move, all my info is in the description box below, so please reach out. I'd love the opportunity to chat. And if you're a local here in Vancouver, I would love for you to share. Put it in the comments. What are some of the things that you love about the False Creek area? What are some things to be mindful of if you are giving advice to somebody that's looking at moving here? What are some pros and cons that you think? I'd love for you to share in the comments below. So, and until next time, Court and I are going to head back to Granville Island. There is a really good dog treat store. Somebody's going to get a treat, and I think I'm going to grab a latte as well.